What's up, everyone? I'm Riley from Boone Mountain Sports. We're up here at the Winter Park Chateau in Colorado, and we have some pretty cool stuff going on. We're partnering up with these guys, and we're going to be talking skis about, this upcoming season. So I want to introduce everyone. This is my brother Logan. Lawrence.
Hello.
This is Pops, the OG, Casey Boone. We got our boy Nashy Boy. And we got Paul. So let's talk about some skis, huh?
Let's do it.
So there's some exciting stuff coming out, or that came out this year, and we decided to bring out all the best sub 90 front side oriented all mountain skis. I would go ahead and say you can kind of throw a dart at this ball, and you're gonna go have a blast. And I would go ahead and say that all of these skis up here are incredible. They're just ridiculously fun and ridiculously easy to ski, and so
I think a great place to start with what we have is a little bit of the comparison of what we have going on, right? So up here we have a Rossi Experience 86, the new Maverick 88 Ti, and the Volkl Kendo 88. I think these three are great ones to start with. What we bring into the shop, early season sort of snow, we like to talk about a little bit more edge to edge skiing. We're not skiing all mountain, we're not skiing trees, not too many bumps. We want like the return of the carve to a certain extent, right?
Yeah, we really break our season down into multiple seasons. It's not just the winter season, and that's kind of how we purchase. We don't really believe in a one ski quiver. We believe in skis that, it's tools for the right job. Your early season is that man-made ice. Your mid-season is going to be a little bit of POW, a little bit of ice. You never really know, very variable, right? And then your late season, especially here in Colorado, it could be 2 feet of POW or it could be Suncrest and gnarly. So we buy skis for everything, and this is going to be a little bit more of like your early season buy. This is what you should buy now. You should come buy this. Now. Buy now.
Well, and the other aspect to you guys in Colorado here and pretty much anywhere is that you still get early season snow all year long. So even all these being a sub 90, this is a ski that you can ski all year long. You're not just subject to the early season aspect. Where we're talking about is a little bit more just easier skiing, edge to edge, better edge control, and more fun on harder snow without, as much effort it is to be skiing like a 120 underfoot, which some people think that should be a daily driver, which is not the case. We kind of have this progression in these skis up here with the Experience 86. If we're going to compare between the Maverick and the Kendo, has a couple of different subtle differences that make it easier for certain types of skiers, right? We go into the construction of skis mainly, and we're going with the Experience being with a Basalt construction, which is no metal, right? Which is going to allow for a little bit easier edge-to-edge skiing, not so good for your kind of hard pack charging skier. That speed is something that you kind of want, right? It's got a lot of bang for buck, good price point, and super fun all mountain frontside ski. Just not the best, I'd say, at speed, like in comparison to the Maverick, right?
Yeah. Well, with that said, obviously it's not going to be the most stable ski that's up there, but it's very lively. It has a great camber profile. It's going to give you a lot of good reaction in and out of your turn, which is going to offer you progression and kind of push you into some of maybe these metal skis, some of these more stiff skis. So the Rossi Experience Basalt is just a great ski for our wall. Fits the bill for a lot of people and allows people to really get better at skiing and have more fun without, getting pushed into something a little too much for them. It's going to allow them to get to that Maverick or that Kendo or even over here in that show.
With that being said, there is, like Logan was touching on, this is the Basalt version. So they have an 86 Basalt. They also have an 86 Ti. We decided to go with the Basalt because we found that there are some other skis and tools out there of two double laminate metal construction skis that maybe ski a little bit better,
Didn't want to say that.
I just want to touch on
the Rossi experience has been
the experience has been in their line now for 8 years or so, I would guess. And each and every year, it also gets better and better. And me being the old guy here, we buy all our skis for all the skiers that walk in our door. Whether you're the family guy, the teenager, the whatever you're going to be, we pick skis for you. And that experience is a wonderful ski for so many skiers that maybe a little bit older, aren't asking for as much horsepower under their foot, but just very consistent, very easy to ski. And I can hand that ski to a customer and know that that customer is going to have a great day on that ski. And so with that said, you can move into the Maverick.
Yeah, if we're looking for a little bit more gas in the tank, Atomic has come out with this series last year, and it is a pretty cool story. It was actually a North American-led Austrian engineered project. So it's like the first time the Europeans listened to us. And we have a massively different audience than Europe does. And so it's pretty cool that, you know, the Austrians were down to do this. So shout out to Atomic for that. They have 3 different widths for the men's skis and 2 different widths for the women's skis. There's an 88, which you see up here. There's a 95, and there's 100. And the construction stays the same throughout all 3 different dimensions. And it's very simple. It's a poplar core. So it's really light. It's really playful. It's super easy. But it's reinforced with 2 sheets of metal. And the cool part about that ski is it's still incredibly light. You know, that metal does not add much weight. And it skis in really, really light and lively, but when you're ready to dig in and you're ready to go arc and you're ready to bust through some crud, you just drive forward and that thing is going to take you for a ride, and it is remarkably fun.
Well, I mean, I think you touched a little bit on the laminate, right? The metal is you have your 3 different dimensions when you have your 88, your 95, and your 100. What they've changed within those 3 models, obviously being the 88, they want that to bite a little bit harder, right? So they changed their camber profiles for each of those skis. Yeah. And those camber profiles are what gives you that power on harder snow, right? So they made this more aggressive of the 3, I'd say, for that front side carving, but all mountain width. Okay. That's who I'd kind of lean that towards, someone who really wants that versatility with an 88 under the foot, something that bites nice and hard, but rebounds too. So it's a little bit about bringing in that carve and that turn. The whole Maverick series brought in Chris Ben Shetler's, what's the tip called? The
Horizon Tech.
Horizon Tech.
Yeah.
So the Horizon Tech, or the, what'd you say?
Butter pads.
The butter pads.
The butter pads.
They got a butter pad on that tip, bro. What that allows for is better flotation, right? So as an 88 with a nice wide profile with the Horizon Tech allows it to float really well. So even being 88, they had that forethought that this is going to be that front side all mountain ski. So it can kind of go different parts of the mountain. You can venture a little bit, even though you're a little bit narrow waisted.
For sure.
For kind of that front side skiing.
Yeah, here at Boone, we definitely feel that 88 is a beautiful dimension for Colorado. We don't get as much snow as we'd like
to think.
So, having 88 underfoot, it's going to really give you confidence anywhere you take it. And that Maverick really knocks it out of the park. With the on-piece stability of it, that kind of maybe gears towards maybe that Austrian side. They love their turn. And then kind of that free ride aspects that this ski is going to put out, kind of comes from that North American. So you can kind of see a great blend of design and skier types in this ski. And it really allows you to take it wherever you want. Definitely go ski some bumps, go ski a bowl. 6 inches of snow, keep skiing your Maverick 88, no problem. You're going to have a blast. That Horizon Tech works. Dissipating that snow off the tip keeps those tips up. It's a phenomenal ski.
Yeah, and then when it chunks up, that thing's gonna absorb all that chunk,
right?
All those mashed potatoes. But
I'm not gonna let you go any further without talking about your involvement and your involvement in that ski. I'm not gonna let you go any further. Please tell me a little bit about that. your involvement with the Maverick.
Oh, so Logan and I were actually on the Maverick project for like the last 4 years. It was a really, really interesting project to be a part of, because when you have such a massive brand, you know, Atomic, they own the race market. They're winning all the medals. They own the free ride market. I mean, Chris Benchetler, Kai Jones, Tim Dirt, like the best skiers in the world ski Atomic, and they're really good at what they do. So the fact that they could take, you know, their massive business and bring it down to such a local level is really unique. You know, they make Atomic feel small, you know, but they're producing over 500,000 skis in that Ultimarket Austria factory. So it's impressive how they run their business, and I have so much respect for that company.
And being part of that series, you know, being North American led, and you know, being on those tops and actually testing all these different skis. I mean, I think they brought over like 140 blanks.
Yeah, we whittled it down, man.
And we whittled it down to 5.
Yeah.
So it was a really unique, really cool experience for Riley and I to be a part of. And you know, on some of these skis, you'll see Riley's face on the bottom. So whether you're here in Colorado in our shop or on the East Coast, you know, you might be able to see that mug, you know, on the base of the ski. And what's also cool is that, you know, I think other people have followed suit now, which is kind of funny. You know, like, you know, we do have two completely different markets when it comes to Europe and the States. But I think we're finally kind of finding a little niche in the production aspect. For what North Americans are looking for in skis.
Yeah, and I think Atomic did a really great job creating the family of something, and other brands have started to do that as well, which segues well into Volkl's new family, right? There's the Kendo, there's the M6, there's the M102. Lawrence, I can see that you are just giddy. You are giddy.
Excited. Getting hot and bothered.
Tell us about the Kendo.
Man, the Kendo, it's my favorite ski of this entire suite. It's what a family member told me I should check out and maybe go talk to my local ski shop, and found these clowns, and these guys were like, "Oh, who told you to ride Kendos?" And I was like, "Well, my cousin." They said, "He's spot on. That's right. That's exactly what you should be riding. Why do you want to ride the Kendos?" I was like, "Well, I'm a hockey player. I'm pretty athletic. You know, I don't want to start at like a 250cc motorcycle because I'll outgrow it pretty quick. I want something that I'm going to have some room to grow into and advance as a skier, as a new skier." And that's what I went with. And that's something with an understanding of edges. I was able to find the edges on that so easy. I was like, man, look at those guys. They're sideways going on these turns. And they're like, yeah, we shred. And I'm like, well, I want to do that. And that was the ski that I was able to learn that on. And that's why it's so important to me and my favorite.
Yeah. Yep. And they did such a great job enhancing the sweet spot. And, you know, they do it with a bunch of different technology. It's, you know, Volkl's very German. They're over-engineering their skis. I wouldn't say over-engineering, but they're so well engineered, you know. And they have a technology which our very own engineer can touch on.
Volkl in their new family, they've brought across the 3D radius on all of these skis. And the 3D radius is amazing, and you really can find the 3 different radii. So you have a radius in the tip, you have a radius in the tail, and you have that traditional radius underfoot. And man, if you want to drive it, you can just drive that ski and do race turns. But then you decide, you know what, my legs are burning a little, and you want to back off. You can back off, and then you have nice, easy turns, and the ski is still stable. It's very consistent in the drivability. You're able to have fun on it.
Yeah. Whatever turn anywhere you want to be.
Yeah.
Right? They like that. Riley, you kind of touched on a little bit with a massive sweet spot. And like as a beginner skier, right? You're like, you feel like
I'd say I'm intermediate now.
Let's
go easy on that.
You're already an expert.
This is on
My mom's listening.
I think in conjunction with what they're saying, kind of Lawrence's testimony on how he spent and grown with that ski, is that's a ski that Lawrence could keep for a very, very long time. No matter how long he progresses, the ski's just gonna get better.
Yeah.
You know,
ski it,
the
man.
better you get at skiing, that ski's just gonna allow you to ski it better, which is really cool. And that comes down to the 3D radius and the metal profile in it. It's just everything they've done for that ski allows more people to get on it and to become better skiers and to have more fun. And that's what's beautiful about the whole kind of Kendo and Mantra family.
Yeah. I mean, and just like Atomic, the construction stays consistent. So it's still that beech poplar core. Beech is going to be, that stouter, stiffer wood. Poplar is going to be that light, playful wood, just like the Maverick. And it's two woods that, work cohesively but balance each other out, right? They also add 2 sheets of metal around the frame, 2 full sheets underfoot, and 2 sheets around the frame and the tail. So they cut out the center of, all the metal in the tip and the tail to reduce the swing weight and make it super easy to maneuver in tighter situations. But when you want to put it up on edge, you have 2 full sheets of metal from tip to tail. So that thing is a powerhouse.
That's really smart.
It is really, 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 really great. And not to mention, it's Volkl's 100th year model. So, if anything, just buy it because of that, because they're really good at what they do.
They know a thing or two because they've seen a thing or two.
It's like a thing or two.
I think someone said that before.
Yeah, that's not original.
So, if you're on the old Kendo, it's time. It's time.
Because you thought that was good. It was good.
Yeah.
And
It's
with,
just gotten better.
yeah.
Yep.
It's
So
gotten better.
the really great thing is you see these 3 skis, Rossi, Atomic, and Volkl, and you'll see the consistency in all of these families later in the day here, because you'll see you'll see the construction, you'll see that DNA that they have, that they put into their skis that allow them to ski with consistency. So if you went from an 88 to a 104, that is going to be there. That build, that construction will vary a little bit, but that DNA is going to be very, very, very consistent, which makes it fun.
Well, then, talking about consistency, right? What if we just jump right over to some of our favorite skis on this wall right now? And chat a little bit about the stock in Stockli. The Stockli. Just, Pops, when you're talking about consistency, the SR88 from Stockli, which used to be the Storm Rider. This is a great little segue coming from the Kendo in the consistency factor of what brings to the table, because like what we have on this side in comparison to what we have on the Stockli series over there is a little bit different, right? We kind of get into a little bit more precision, a little bit more consistency, and more power, right? If you don't know any about Stockli, Stockli is a Swiss brand and incredibly well made, and like pretty much if you were to compare how they are made, these skis are made within hours. These take days, so it's just a different hand feel. It's a different.
It translates to the snow.
Well, 100%.
I mean, you put
totally
that thing
does.
on the snow, and there is a massive difference in the feel of a Stockli versus the feel of a Rossi or an Atomic or a Volkl. There is, I like to relate it to cars, even though I'm not a big car person. You have your Subarus, you have your Toyotas, you have your great vehicles that, you take care of them. They're going to last a really long time, but there's something to be said about an Audi or a BMW or a Ferrari. I mean, there's precision, there's response, there's power, there's stability, and it is a different feel. And so when we look at the SR88, it's very comparable to those skis. These 2 skis kind of sit in the league on their own, but the SR88, I mean, the construction is, a balsa fuma wood, so super light, really light but stout, right? And it's 2 sheets of metal throughout the entire ski. And Stockli has a proprietary technology of thinning out or milling out the tips and tails of the actual metal and the actual core. And they do essentially what Volkl has done by cutting out the metal on the tips and the tail, and that acts as your weight reducer, of your swing weight, right? Yeah. So it is incredibly maneuverable, but when you put it up on edge, I mean, it's a powerhouse, man. It's a total powerhouse. And the beautiful thing about Stockli is it's going to make you a better skier.
You buy it, you're a better skier just because you did that.
You know, that's this whole transition Riley just spoke of, how a ski reacts to the snow. Well, that also translates to how many the grin factor. I mean, because whenever you stand on any of these skis that we have on this wall, Stockli in particular, maybe for the shop is one of those skis, but it translates into bigger smiles, better turns, better days.
It's magical. It's magical.
Yeah, I think, Logan talked,
I think
it's
you
magic.
just rewrote their slogan. Stockli for better days.
That is copyrighted, so that's ours.
All right, George, you pay him. So it goes out to you, dude. You know, one thing that I do want to touch on is, you know, their shovels in these are in the SR series are softer, right? So it's supple in the initiation, right? And then you have your, you know, you do have that greater early rise, and you'll see it in the 95 and the 102 now. It's a little bit more aggressive in the early rise, right at the tip, so it stays on top of the snow. But traditionally cambered underfoot. But the best part is that tail. That tail is awesome for a few reasons. It flares out, right? And when you think of a turn, there's three parts to a turn. There's the initiation of a turn, there's the counterflex of the camber, and there's the transition out. And the best part about a Stockli tail is it does all that transition for you. It kicks. You feel the kick and just sends the ski right under your foot, and it is the roundest turning ski in the industry. 100%. So
Yeah, I mean,
let's talk about the AR.
The AR, baby. Montero.
Yep.
Brand new, 22, 23. You guys. Okay, so we've been skiing the AX for a while. Oh.
let's hold up.
Hold on.
Wait.
Hold on. Stockli introduced a new line of skis, the Monteros.
Well done.
That deserves its own title.
Yep.
This is true. And we couldn't be more excited about the AR and AX series Montero. These things, well, we could definitely let's just get into it. Yeah. AR. Let's just go into right where we're super stoked. The AR series just came out. Not only did they look unbelievably cool with just their simplicity and beautifulness, but the way in which what they changed from their laser series is a little bit with the construction. You know, they took out some of the stuff that made them a little bit softer, a little bit easier to ski with their turtle shell technology. They took that out, similar wood with your balsa and fuma, but then slightly changed their dimensions in their tips, their waists, and their tails, and created a whole. Well, first we didn't really know what the changes were going to be until we skied on these skis. So you guys, be incredibly excited because they nailed it. They hit it out of the park. The AR series is incredible, super fun, and really round turns, super powerful. Anywhere and everywhere you want to go with this thing, I would say it's a frontside all mountain, but I truly mean all mountain ski. I mean, I will ski this ski probably majority of days.
So just to give them an idea of the dimensions underfoot, the AX, the new Montero AX, is 80 millimeters underfoot, and the AR is now 84 millimeters underfoot. Unlike last year where it was 78 and 83. Yeah. Right? And there's a few reviews that we have seen that are a little bit, they kind of are a little bit contradictory, right? Like
to what we felt.
On the snow.
Yep.
And what some magazines are saying, and maybe even what Stockli is saying, is they found the AX to have a tighter radius than the AR. And we found
it to be
the exact opposite. Like, we found that AX to be a little bit more of of a longer turning ski, right? It loves speed. It loves speed. You want to go fast? You want to go arc some ridiculously fun GS turns? That is your powerhouse. That's your powerhouse. The AX is incredible at speed. But when you want to like shorten up that turn radius and you want to make some...
You want to drop hip. You want to make your hip
You want to
hurt
make
a
some
little bit.
round turns. Nash, why don't you talk about what you see
Well, yeah,
when we're
just like
skiing the AR?
But like with the backing up kind of the radius story, kind of like they're very similar radius. They're going to be like a point or two off. More how I look at it rather than like the meter of radius, I look at about the shape, right? You're looking on the AX, it's a very open shaped turn, right? It's not closed off. You're edging back and forth, right? Once you get on that Montero AR, it's very closed. It's round. That shovel hits. You're initiating that turn. It's very round, and it's snapping you back into that other one. So that's kind of where we feel that there might be a little bit of a shorter turn radius, but they both are just powerhouses, right? I look at it more of turn shape on this ski than radius. Like radius to me on these is just more of a number to put on a ski. It's how you ski it, what kind of shape you like. If you like a round, snappy, really fun turn, you're gonna go AR. If you want more more angulation, open, getting that hip on the ground as well, but not as closed off, you're gonna go to that AX. So both have their place. Both are a blast. The turn radius on the AR has just blown my mind.
Dude,
it's hard to explain it. Once you ski it, you'll see it, or you'll feel it. Once you see it, you'll know what I'm talking about. But how they've kind of taken that shovel profile and that side cut and that ski, it just hooks, it turns, and you're snapping into that next one. It's very reactive, playful.
Nash is
ski.
really fun. He follows a lot of us as we're testing these skis, and he'll film the turns. And he's a phenomenal rider, snowboarder, and yet he loves to watch the arc of these turns. He's obsessed with it. He gets to the bottom of the hill and he'll say, "How did you make that ski come around like that?" And I'll go, "I have no idea. I mean, I don't know. I'm completely transverse to the fall line. I stand on the tail and it initiates and it completely transfers my weight, and I initiate that next turn so quick and with such strength and stability. I have no idea how I make some of those turns, but it's super fun. It just makes it
I mean, like the AR really has one of those turn shapes you don't see on really anything else. You don't see anything like it. When you have a full C in the snow and your transition is a foot apart or less, it's wild. You don't see that on anything.
So
it's
if you're scared of
phenomenal.
bruised hips or knuckles, then don't buy those.
But if you want a lot of if you want a lot of grins, if you want the grin factor,
Laugh and have a good time, buy those.
buy those. In fact, you can buy all three of them. It'll be great, and we'll bring out some more that you could buy too. But it's just super fun.
Well, like the thing with Stockli too is it's not one of those brands you see as pushing the fun aspect of skiing. They're very technical, very precise, things like that.
I heard.
But the fun factor comes out throughout that whole turn, that transition. You're like, holy crap, this is amazing.
Dude, okay, there's an awesome quote, you guys, that I just heard the other day. Shout out to Doug McCaffrey. The Austrians, they invented skiing. The French, they made it fucking fun. And the Swiss, they perfected it.
I've never heard McCaffrey string that many words together. I'm blown away. I'm going to give him a call.
So, you guys, all of these skis are, in our opinion, the best sub 90 men's front side oriented, but still all mountain skis that you're going to find. And these boots and these bindings that we have on this Ottoman pair very well. We have the the new
Strive.
Solomon Strive 14, right?
Yep.
Unbelievable binding. The newer Marker Squire and the newerest Marker Squire TCX. That thing is super dope. We also have some pretty kick-ass boots on here.
And all these, we brought these out just to kind of showcase something that's going to compare as well.
Some comparable packages.
And follow us on a few other videos, and we'll kind of dive into a little bit of what's so cool about the new TCX and the Strive, and then a couple different things with the news, like the Solomon Alpha boot and how they correlate with some of these all mountain skis that are going to be coming along. But yeah, super stoked about this new lineup for 2022, 23.
22, 23, baby.
Here's the frontside skis.
Cheers, cheers, cheers.
Cheers, everyone.
Frontside ski.
Cheers.
Frontside ski.
Frontside
Get a frontside ski.
Don't forget to check us out.
That's right.